going on, everyone? Welcome back to Living Your Best Life. I'm your host, Coach Adamir, and today I want to discuss the benefits of using a suspension trainer, commonly referred to as TRX straps, because they did an amazing job of branding. So most people know them as TRX straps. The official term is suspension trainer, just because you're suspended in the air and use it to train. So suspension trainer. And while they may seem like a simple tool to use, their versatility and the benefits of adding functional strength to your body are definitely good reasons to add to your training program, either as a whole workout or just sprinkling it in through your workout into your existing routine as well. The cool thing about today's episode is that I'm actually doing a suspension training program for this month, for the month of April, that I wrote out for myself. So all I'm going to be using is suspension trainers 3 days a week and then 2 days of cardio a week as well. So the only gym tool that I'll use is suspension trainer. So if you follow my Instagram over the next 2 weeks, you'll be seeing some videos on there so you can get some ideas on adding to your own workouts or doing the exact workout that I'm doing. And I'll be honest, even after just 1 week of doing the suspension trainer, I've felt some differences in my body in terms of just different soreness. My joints, like my shoulder, I have a little bit of a shoulder impingement sometimes, and I didn't feel as much of the soreness in my shoulder as I normally would when lifting weights. So, excuse me, I'm definitely seeing a difference and feeling it. And definitely core strength as well. I'm noticing I'm activating my core a lot more. So let's dive into what suspension training is, how you can incorporate it, a little bit of what it is, and then 8 benefits of it, as well as a couple cons that do come along with it. But I'll show you how to deflect those cons so that you can still use it in your training. All right, so here we go. What is suspension training? Suspension training is a system of ropes or cables that will enable you to use your body weight against gravity to provide that resistance. So you're using your own body weight. You're basically just using physics, gravity, and body weight to add resistance in different angles and different planes of movement. And the most common ones you'll see are the rings, like the gymnast rings, or the TRX straps, those black and yellow ones. And what these can do is they can increase the difficulty of any exercise because it provides an unstable platform that's going to require much more core engagement, and it's going to aim to improve your strength, your cardio endurance, your balance, your coordination, and power all in one workout. All right, and the benefits of using a suspension trainer, besides improving your core strength, stability, and muscular endurance, it's that it's one of the most versatile pieces of home gym equipment that it's going to allow you to do over 50 different exercises. And on top of that, it's adjustable to many different skill levels, right? So along with the physical benefits of using the suspension trainer, the ease of use benefits are also a big factor when considering adding this to your routine. Let's get into the 8 benefits of suspension training. The first one is that it's going to improve your core strength. So we mentioned that a few times. The first part is because due to the unstable nature of this type of training, you're constantly engaging your core to maintain that balance and stability in almost every exercise. All right, so you have to hold up your body weight, and you can't weaken your core, and you can't take shortcuts in a sense where you don't engage your core, because it's going to impact your ability to perform that exercise correctly, and then it'll prevent any lower back pain. Right? You disengage your core, a lot of the weight bearing that's going to happen will shift over to your lower back, and that's going to cause pain later, and you're not going to be able to continue your program. So that's the one of the biggest benefits, I think, is that it doesn't allow you to not use your core when you're supposed to be using your core in every single exercise. All right, there was a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research that had 21 participants executing 2 repetitions of 4 different front plank variations. And the studies showed that there was a greater abdominal muscle activation in the 3 suspended planks than the 1 floor-based one. right? So they either had their hands on the ground and feet in the straps, or they had their feet on the ground, hands in the straps, or the third one, they had hands and feet in straps. So they were completely suspended and performing a plank. All right, so you can imagine why there'd be greater abdominal muscle activation when only one point of contact is on the ground or none. Right, your core is going to get much more out of the workout than you would without being suspended in the air. The second one, it's going to build functional strength, agility, and power. All right, so as opposed to other types of strength training that we're all familiar with, the exercises done with a suspension trainer are going to have greater carryover to movements that you'll perform in your everyday life. So it's much more functional, it's much more relatable to everyday life than just powerlifting or just lifting weights in general. All right, and the skills that you may pick up using suspension training may be able to transfer to other sports, especially basketball. All right, there was a study in the Journal of Education and Training Studies that used 20 volunteer basketball players to study the effects of regular training versus suspension training. And what they did is they did 6 weeks of each program with measurements after each 6 weeks. So the first 6 weeks they did regular strength training with dumbbells, barbells, things like that, and then they took the measurements. The second 6 weeks they did all suspension training and they took measurements for that. They did 6 different tests for right and left, well, just basically hip flexibility test, the sitting down flexibility test, standing long jump, vertical jump, back and leg strength, and then a 20 meter sprint test. And the study showed that suspension training had positive effects on these elite level basketball players, especially with their hip flexion, their jump height, and their strength and agility. All right, and although this study was done on athletes, they're not the only ones that can benefit. Older adults can as well. All right, there was another study where 11 participants completed a 12-week program that progressively advanced the movements in the session. So throughout the 12 weeks, they would increase the difficulty or increase the duration of each session so that there would be progressive advancement in the movement, right? And 91% of the participants claimed that they were motivated to continue the program after the study was done because they reported improvements in their fitness and then notably with their strength. So they saw results and wanted to continue that type of training. Right? So no matter who you are, suspension training can really aid in developing the functional strength that we all need and the power that we use in our everyday life. All right, the third one, you guys, is that you can do over 50 different exercises with it. All right, and as much as it looks like a really simple tool to use, it's an incredibly versatile and flexible piece of equipment. I freaking love it. I try to incorporate it throughout my clients' workouts, at least 1 or 2 exercises, because it definitely adds a degree of difficulty and challenge and also variety that helps clients or people in general just not be bored of the workout. Right? You can do a variety of exercises using only your body weight. So for upper body, you can do bicep curls, you can do tricep dips, there's push-ups, there's rows, chest press. Adjusting the angle of your feet is what's going to increase the difficulty or decrease the difficulty. Right, for lower body, there's squats, single leg squats, jump squats, lunges, jump lunges, wall sits, my favorite, Bulgarians. You can hinge on them, you can do hamstring curls. You can basically do almost every exercise. You just have to know how to do it and do it correctly so that you get the most out of it. All right, and then for core, there's several different plank variations, side plank, front plank, like I mentioned, feet in, hands and feet in. You can do pike, oblique crunches, body saw, ab rollouts, plenty of different core exercises that we can do as well. All right. The fourth one, it's portable and it's easy to set up, right? 2 straps, they basically fit in your trunk and your seat. They fit in a backpack. They're portable, right? You can take them anywhere and easy to set up if you have places to place it, right? So unlike a barbell, unlike dumbbells, unlike machines, they can't easily be moved, right? You can't just grab a couple sets of dumbbells, put them in your car and take them with you. You don't want to do that. And it doesn't take up a lot of space either, right? So even when you do set it up, like if you live in an apartment and you just have a smaller space to work out, it's perfect for that. It's not going to take up a lot of space. Or if you're traveling for work and you're staying in a hotel room and you don't want to use the gym, take your suspension trainer with you. You can set it up on the door there. All right. Most straps will come with an attachment that you can put over the top of a door, and then you can clip on the straps from there. All right. The fourth one, we're almost there, guys. Four more. Or the fifth one, sorry. You can adapt to different fitness levels, right? So whether you're a beginner, whether you're an intermediate gym goer, whether you're advanced and you've been doing weight training for years, you're still gonna get a doable yet challenging workout. All right. So if you program correctly, you can get a really good workout. All right. You can adjust the straps to make them shorter or longer depending on the exercise. You can move your feet forward and back to add difficulty to each movement. So the challenge and the difficulty and the intensity is adaptable to anyone, so that if I'm doing bodyweight rows and you're next to me doing bodyweight rows, we can do the exact same exercise, and based on the angle, we're going to each challenge our bodies in different ways. Okay? Number 6, it's a great workout for older adults. All right, like I mentioned earlier with that study, there was another study in the the International Journal of Sports Medicine, Sports Medicine, that showed older adults performing high intensity interval training using a suspension trainer improved their BMI, their gait, which is their walk, their speed, their hand grip strength, and their overall quality of life. And so as an older adult, if we have an older adult population who starts doing suspension training 2 to 3 times a week, quality of life will be improved. Right? The natural byproduct of improving your BMI, of improving your gait, of improving strength in your body, you're going to improve your quality of life. Along with that, that same study showed participants reported less fatigue and better quality of sleep. All right, so let's add suspension training to our routine as much as possible. Number 7, we got 2 more. Reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, as with any exercise, this is going to give you health benefits, particularly in cardiovascular endurance, blood pressure, waist circumference, and body fat. All right, there's a study in the International Journal of Research in Exercise Physiology that was established to measure the cardiovascular and metabolic responses to suspension training. And what they saw was after 3 times a week, they did 60 days, so 2 months. 3 times a week, they did 60-minute sessions. The results indicated that as long as you're working out within a moderate intensity range, suspension training is an effective way to work on your health and fitness and reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. So you don't have to always go ham in these workouts and exhaust yourself to the point of fatigue and not being able to function. Okay, so moderate intensity range with a suspension trainer, you're still going to get great benefits in reducing your risk of cardiovascular disease and improving your health and fitness. Number 8, last one, it's going to contribute to your weight loss and body composition as well. All right, so although suspension training's initial aim is to improve your endurance, your strength, coordination, and power, doing so is going to have a direct impact on your weight and contribute to your weight loss, and you'll notice changes in your body composition. Right, so even though that those may not be your ultimate goals, the natural byproduct of working with a suspension trainer, you're going to see that as a result. All right, there was a study in the International Journal of Sports Science in which a group of overweight participants partook in 3 training sessions over the course of 8 weeks. So again, the difficulty of each session was increased weekly, and the conclusion of that study showed that body fat percentage and body fat mass decreased while their strength and their cardiovascular endurance improved. Right? So they were able to work for longer periods of time than they were at the beginning of the study. All right? And that automatically led to changes in their body composition as opposed to just weight loss. So we've done the 8 benefits. There are a couple cons. Actually, there's only 2, honestly, and there's ways to maneuver around it. The first one, it's really just dependent on your goals, right? So the first one, you may need additional lower body weight training, right? If you want to lift big weights at the gym, then you're going to need to lift weights, right? You can't rely on the suspension trainer to give you the same desired results of lifting big weight, right? So you can train your legs with a suspension trainer, right? But there's only so much you can do for them if your goal is to add extra size and muscle, right? We can't do that with just body weight, right? So at that point, it'd be time to consider leg workouts with external resistance, right? So barbells, dumbbells, machines, whatever you have available to you. All right, because suspension training is really helpful in building functional strength versus raw strength that you can build with heavy weights. All right, and then the second one, this is kind of dependent on your perspective, right? It can just disrupt the flow of your workout. So the versatility of the suspension trainer does come at a little bit of a price, because while you can do a variety of exercises with the one strap, having only one means that you may have to adjust the straps as you move through your workout, right? So you may have a program and the first 3 exercises you have to adjust the straps each time. So it may slow you down, right? So I recommend finding programs that you don't have to adjust as much, or focus on lower body first and then upper body, because then again, you don't have to move those straps. And if you need help with that, hit me up, message me. I'll be posting videos in the next few weeks of my own suspension trainer workouts that you'll be able to see, so you can mimic them, copy them, add them to your workouts, whatever you want to do. All right, like I said, I'm doing suspension training all month, so hopefully I can be a little bit more of an expert by the end of the month. But anyways, that's it, you guys. I really hope you've been encouraged to add suspension training in your exercise routine if it's possible. And if you've ever been curious to try it out, hopefully this kind of pushed you over the edge a little bit. And if, like I said, if you need help, please let me know. Look online. There's plenty of resources that you can look to for TRX workouts. Suspension trainer workouts that are simple to do. All right. So again, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I really do hope that I'm adding some value to your life and that I'm helping you out in some way. So don't forget to like and subscribe to it if you haven't yet, and follow me on Instagram at Coach Adamir. So remember, my friends, have a great week. Love yourself and go be the best version of yourself. Bye.